Er ist YouTuber und Content Creator. Mit seiner Benny-Philosophie bereist er die ganze Welt und zeigt das Leben und die Herausforderungen von jungen Musliminnen und Muslimen. Wir freuen uns sehr, Nadir Nahdi willkommen zu heißen.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hey guys.
Salam. Welcome.
How are we? How are we doing?
Happy here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I'm so impressed by everything. Yeah, Austria is where it's at. I'm so impressed.
Thank you very much. The world is now different place as it was before. The coronavirus is changing our life for all of us. For you, even more with the passing of your father, Allah yarhamu. And I just wanted to ask, how are you holding up?
Things have been very different. I think it's been a journey, and I think what you learn is that actually grieving a parent is almost like life is like you're walking on training wheels or crutches, right? And I think our parents are either side of those training wheels, or they're one of those crutches. And I think when you lose a parent, you lose one of those wheels, or one of the things that were keeping you stable. What happens is that once you lose it, you're fumbling and you're tumbling and you're trying to stabilize yourself, and it takes time for you to figure out that balance or get that equilibrium back. So it's been tough, I'm not gonna lie, it's been very hard. I was very close with my dad, he was my role model, and he was also one of my best friends, and everything I do today somehow is rooted in everything that my dad had either taught me or inspired me by. So kind of figuring out like direction for life now, and without someone who was my kind of muse or my advisor or someone who I sought counsel from, will be challenging. Also, Ramadan is very strange because it was his favorite time of month as well. So what it requires for us now as a family is to kind of gather and figure out what the new traditions will be. How are we going to gather without someone who was so formative? Because dad was very much like the anchor in which we all gathered around. And then when that anchor goes, it asks questions of you, and I'm sure there's lots of people in the audience who might have lost a parent, and you realize that actually, like, you know, now you're the one that has to kind of dictate or lead or create new traditions for your family that create a new sense of stability and safety. And it's been lots of lessons.
Yeah, very wise, mashallah. And how is Ramadan now for you? I mean, there is the coronavirus and people are staying at home, hopefully. How do you deal with that?
Like I said, without dad, it's been strange. I think we're very, with this whole COVID situation and with dad passing, it's been a very, it felt like the whole world has stopped, you know, like, and then, you know, in our cultures, I'm sure with all of you, when someone passes away, the tradition is that everyone comes and visits, right? Everyone comes and they bring you food and they bring you samosas and they bring you X, Y, Z. But because of the whole COVID situation, we haven't had the luxury of being able to grieve with our community. And the person that dad was, because he was very active in the community, even his funeral, we could only have 20 people. So we weren't able to kind of benefit from the community aspect, because we know if it was any normal circumstances, there would have been hundreds of people. Like, that's the kind of dad was. And so but in kind of times of difficulty, you have to kind of acknowledge that, like, you have to find a silver lining, right? Like, and I have to say that as a result of COVID and being isolated, I've never spent so much time with my family, because we weren't having people come in and out of the house. We were able to have like really difficult but important conversations that normally would have been later. And now it was a blessing, and we really connected, and we were able to support each other and grieve, you know, like properly grieve. Because usually what happens is that these get pushed away later. And Ramadan's the same. Ramadan for us is very much like, it's actually the busiest month of the year, right? I don't know about you guys, but like Ramadan is a time where lots of things are happening. It's really exciting and it's really festive. And now I wouldn't say that it's less busy, but what it's forced us to do is to think about Ramadan in a very different way, right? Community can still exist virtually, and what you guys are doing here right now is a perfect example of that, right? It's forced us all to evolve. How do we we change with the circumstances? And one of the most important things about Ramadan is community. And we've realized through this whole isolation that we need each other. Like, otherwise we go crazy. We're social people, right? And now, because of the situation, it requires us to evolve and develop and think of new innovative ways to gather as a community of people.
This is so cool that you mentioned that, because you're a very active person. I mean, we are following you on Instagram and social media, and
Thanks.
We would like to know and to talk about your platform, Benny Space, now, because there are many parallels with the philosophy of the Muslim Youth of Austria, in that it is inclusive for people from all backgrounds and identities. So we have also this body, mind, soul philosophy. And can you tell us a little bit more about Benny Space, why you created it, and what some of your goals are with this platform?
Right. So why we called it Benny in the first place was because God uses Allah uses like a metaphor called Beni Adam throughout the Quran and scripture, right? And when he's using that term Beni Adam, he's referring to mankind regardless of your religion, regardless of where you came from, your color of skin, your ethnicity, what you might believe in, but everyone is one, and the source is Adam, right? There's no differentiation, and I love that. And like for me, I wanted to build a space that kind of reflected those values. So as children of diaspora, we don't know what our heritage is or our culture is, or it's confused, it's murky. So then we take the Adam away, and it kind of is a sense of we're searching to get back to Adam, right? What does that mean? So Benny kind of made sense as a kind of cool name to kind of reflect those virtues or those values. Benny, for me, I wanted to be a content creator. I left my job, I put everything in it. And Benny, for me, was an opportunity to kind of, because, you guys know more than anyone, social media is a really like narcissistic space, right? It's all about me. It's all about, hey, like, look how good my selfie is. Look at this latest filter. Yeah, 100%, right? So for me, Benny was an opportunity for me to funnel, and like, we all are narcissistic at some level, right? All of us have inherent narcissism to a certain extent. But the challenge or the jihad is like, how do you funnel that narcissism or ego into meaningful things, right? Things of value, things that make us better people. And for me, Benny was an opportunity to be like, hey, I want to create or use my profile on my platform to create a space that was bigger than me, right? How can I create a community around me that is dedicated to like improve every single day, to be the best version of themselves? And through that, specifically during Ramadan, we created some really cool programming. Is that I also believe that like, hey, like everyone practices the beauty of Islam is that it can be practiced in multiple ways, right? You go across the world and people are practicing Ramadan in very different ways. I'm part Indonesian. When I go to Jakarta, there's a jazz festival. Every Ramadan, it's like a specific Ramadan thing, right? Cool. But you go to Egypt and it's a completely different Ramadan experience, right? And for us during Ramadan, we wanted to reflect that and be like, hey, look, we're not going to tell people how to do the religious obligations, because we're not qualified to do that. We're not scholars. We're just normal people. But what we will do is provide alternative avenues of development through the mind and the body and the soul to help facilitate you in another way, right? To benefit from what this month is about, which is new habits and self-betterment. So we did things like exercises, and we did things like talks, the talks were amazing. The idea behind them was to kind of, how can we have conversation that was increasing our perspectives from what they were before. And the soul sessions were like ambient sound sessions and lots of different ways of kind of thinking, how can we benefit from Ramadan in a really cool, quirky, different way? So it felt like a celebration and a festive period.
Wow.
Wow, wonderful. And to be honest, I really loved your finding your Nanak journey. I followed everything on Instagram. It was incredible. Really.
Thanks for sure. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, like culture and heritage mean a lot to me, and to go back to Indonesia and find out the roots of my grandmother meant a lot. And yeah, I've got 3 more grandparents to find out where they came from now.
Well, I'm very excited, really. So, last question before we continue with our game. What will you be doing next? Any exciting projects we can look forward to?
Yeah, so I recently finished a trip to Uzbekistan. And Uzbekistan is a fascinating place because it's considered like the cradle of civilization. Every culture passed through this place. So what's happened, it's an incredibly interesting culture of the Silk Road. It's literally the home of the Silk Road. I went there with a friend of mine who is half Uzbek, half Uyghur, and we came up with a campaign and a video, a documentary series to highlight the difficulty that the Uyghur people are going through in Western China, in East Turkestan. And we went to go look back at cultural heritage. And she used to wear this hat when she was young, but she never understood why she'd wear this hat. Like, she was embarrassed about it, right? And we all have that in our culture. Things that we were like, yo, I don't want to go out and all my friends see me in like this thobe, or maybe it's a waistcoat, or maybe it's like, you know, something you wear on your head. And then later on, she realized that it's a beautiful thing, right? Like, our culture and heritage is a beautiful thing that you should be proud of. So we go back, and it's actually one of these hats. So we go back and we discover the roots of these hats. And then the more she learns about the hats, the more she learns about herself. And it's a really compelling, emotional journey. And I think it's relatable to a lot of people from the West who have heritage. And yeah, it's a really beautiful project that I'm looking forward to sharing.
So cool, so nice. Very, very inspiring. Yeah, we prepared a little game. It's called Rapid Fire Questions. So if you want to play with us, we have, you have to answer the questions with the first thing that comes to your mind. So always short answers, please. Yeah, we will start now. Ready?
So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Morning person or night person?
Night person.
Okay.
Cornflakes first or milk first?
Cornflakes first. Who does milk first?
Thank you. So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
What's your most irrational fear?
Time running out.
If you can't sleep in the middle of the night, what do you do?
Go for a run.
Ooh, okay. Say something in Austrian accent, can you?
You know, ich kann Deutsch sprechen.
Yeah, you
right?
German.
Ich habe Deutsch gelernt in der Schule. Jahre.
Wonderful.
Why are we talking German?
Ja, ich kann verstehen, aber meine Sprache ist nicht so gut.
Okay. So, what's your craziest fan story, Nadir?
My craziest fan story?
Yeah. Anything like this?
No, I had the craziest one. I think that made me kind of. The first time I kind of was like, "Whoa, this is weird." When I had 3 people outside of my hotel room because I had geotagged what hotel I was staying at, and then there were some people waiting in the lobby for like 2 days, and like that was a bit strange. But like, thankfully, it doesn't happen very often. But I'm a nobody, so no one really cares normally. So.
What's your favorite book when you're growing up?
Favorite book going around? It's a book called. It's actually quite unlikely one as well. It's called Fresh Off the Boats by Huang. Now, it's a really amazing book about a Chinese American figuring out his identity in America. I love it because it's really accessible and it's hilarious, and not many books make you laugh out loud. But yeah, check it out if you're interested in identity.
If you could eat any type of food right now, what would you eat?
I feel like some Ethiopian injera. Yeah, some Ethiopian food would be really nice right now. I love that. Yeah.
What supply in your house is running low?
What's the
supply
in my house is running low? Energy. Our energy is like extremely low right now. We're starving. We're really struggling this Ramadan.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're alone in your car, what song do you play?
Right now I'm playing DVSN, Hallucinations.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if many people know that, but that's a song I got on repeat at the moment all the time.
Cool. Could you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh man, 3 words. Friendly, passionate, and emotional.
So the following one is very interesting. How do you define happiness?
I think happiness is defined by being or acknowledging the person you are. and not the person you're trying to be. I think if I look back at my life, I was always trying to be someone that I thought I should be. And then I never felt as happy when I realized, hey, I'm a good guy. I don't need to try and be anything else. And once I acknowledged that, there was a weight off my shoulders, and I stopped impressing everyone around me. And the only person that I sought comfort and relief and happiness from was myself. And that was a really big turning point for me.
Love this one.
Yeah.
What motivates you? What drives you?
What drives me, I think, there's a few things. I think realistically, if you want the real, like, down-to-earth answer, what drives me is my family and supporting them. Like, at the end of the day, like, look, like, you know, making sure that my mom and my sister are warm, healthy, and they're fed, like, that is what drives me the most. On another level, for me, like, I really believe, like, I feel happy when I feel like what I create is benefiting other people. And that's really important to me. So as long as I can create things I'm passionate about that benefit other people, that also makes me. I love community. Community is a big part of my youth, and I hope I can build a community that I'm happy to, like, raise children in the future, you know?
Great. So, as you mentioned before, you speak German, and you also lived in Germany for a while, I think in Berlin. And my question, but no pressure, Germany or Austria?
Don't say the wrong.
Hey, oh man.
Be careful.
Come on. I feel like I'm being put on the
careful.
spot. I should be careful. Let me say that it's kind of an unfair comparison because I haven't lived in Austria yet. But I have to say, the short amount of time I've been in Austria, I have been, honestly, I was so impressed by, like, every person that I met there. Like, you know, Asma, Inez, Mukan Films, these guys, you guys, with Addis, so dynamic. And, like, the community there. A lot of people look at London and they think, hey, like, oh, we're going to be like London and the community is really diverse. But, like, there's something really beautiful and organic and real about the way that you guys are organizing. And I think you should really be proud of yourselves. Stuff like this is really beautiful. And I felt that when I was in Austria. And everyone was super friendly. And I hope, you know, Allah continues to make you guys successful. And we're always here to help you guys out should you need anything. But I really have a lot of time for you guys in Austria, and I hope I can visit. Also, the Austrian Alps are my favorite place on this planet, by the way. Like, mountains and in Austria, beautiful. Love it.
Cool. Yeah, you can come anytime you want. The doors are open.
Addis, you gonna pay for my ticket? Is that you offering to pay for
my? Of course, I will. Inshallah.
All right, cool. We'll talk after this, and I'll send you my bank details.
I have to go there and do iftar, but yeah, maybe tomorrow.
All right, cool. Yeah, don't worry, I'll let you eat.
So Nadir, thank you so much for being with us, and it was really a great time. We wish you a blessed Ramadan and good luck to all of your projects, inshallah. Before we end this, we would like to have a screenshot with you, like a group picture. I will also count from 3 to 0, and you just give us your amazing motivational smile. Okay?
You ready?
So, like, definitely.
3, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. Thank you so much. Greetings to London from Salzburg, from Austria, and assalamu alaikum.
Salam, and thanks again. See you guys soon. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you so much. Bye.